Hello, everybody. It is March 30th, third day. Let's talk sports podcast, and we're going to start off in the NBA. First of all, let's get started with the Utah Jazz versus the Los Angeles Clippers. All right, so we talk about this game right here, the Clippers and Jazz. 121 to 115 was the final score. What are my thoughts about this game? We look at the leading scores right here. Donovan Mitchell had 33. Paul George came back with 34. Rebounding, Rudy Gobert had 16. And Isaiah Hartenstein had 7. And assist leaders, you can see at the bottom. But I also want to talk about this game. Jazz led by 24 in this game. They led by 24. And the thing that just really disturbs me the most is that just every time the Jazz played in the last couple games, the last times they played against the Clippers at LA, they had a lead like this. Remember last year, was it 26 in the third in the playoffs, and you would have forced a game 7? It's unbelievable, man. This is just unbelievable stuff. You talk about the Jazz being one of the great, supposed to be a great team. Quinn Snyder, their defense was supposed to be better. The perimeter defense was supposed to be better. Adding Mike Conley, it was supposed to make this defense better. They struggled. They really did. And they just give up way too many threes nowadays. And you just can't do that in today's game if you're going to win a game, man. You just cannot do that. You got to play better perimeter defense here. And you're going to come back. You got to say something. You got to play some better defense in the league. And the Jazz didn't. How about Paul George? He had 5 steals. And many people were comparing him last night to prime Kobe. What are my thoughts about that? I watched some of the highlights last night. I watched some of those highlights. I saw Paul George, man. Just make shot after shot, man. He played very good. Talk about it. Going back to that 3-point defense, the Utah Jazz, man, they gave up 15 threes last night. 41%. They gave 41% threes. You just cannot do that, man. And we seen it last night with Paul George. And Adu shot 10 for 20, 6 for 9 from 3. It's unbelievable stuff from Paul George. But the Jazz, man, they're on a little losing streak right now. They have lost 4 in a row, I believe, to the Hornets, Mavericks, and Celtics. Nets. You can make that 5 in a row. And I'm going to show you the standings after I talk about each game here. But the Clippers are coming in. Clippers are coming into these standings, man. They're playing good ball. Many believe is Kawhi Leonard going to be back for the playoffs. It's a possibility. But I think they're going to sit him out this year. I think they can do that one more year. They want to have a healthy Kawhi to play with Paul George in the future. They want to have that. They do not want to have Kawhi sit there and not play. They want Kawhi Leonard to be in the playoffs for next year and have a great regular season so he can stay healthy. They're resting him up. But will the injury come again? We don't know. So it was a good first score here. And then so the next game we're going to talk about is the 76ers and the Bucks. So we look at the Bucks game here, and Giannis Antetokounmpo. Look at the stats here. He dropped a 40 bomb last night, and it was a great game. 118 to 116. The Bucks battled back from down 14 to 16 points last night. Look at the stats there. What they did. They had 26 assists as a team. They all rebounded Philadelphia. A good Philadelphia 76ers team. This is probably the Eastern Conference semifinals. Matchup here, Look at it here. This is great from what we've seen, man. The Sixers shot under 40% from 3. The Bucks struggle as well from the perimeter line at times, but they can be really good. That's what their focus is. They give points in the paint. That's what they wanted. Nope, they don't. So we've seen in here, Garrett Games from Joel Embiid, 29, 14, and 7. Giannis with a 40, 14, and 6. Like I said, Drew Holiday missed triple-double. Some other stat lines here we didn't see. Chris Middleton had a 22, 9, and 7. That's a Chris Middleton that needs to show up every night. They had Chris Middleton. And other stat lines here that you can see for the 76ers was Tobias Harris, 22 and 11 and 6. So it's been really great, just to look at the NBA to see where it is right now. Especially the Eastern Conference. Let's get in topic right here. The Eastern Conference right now is so stacked. We're still going to be talking about the Bucks and 76ers, but I just want to say how great the Eastern Conference is this year. It's one of the great Eastern Conferences in a while. We haven't seen this conference be so good. Like the 8th seed in the Eastern Conference, they're over 500. And look at the 7th seed, they're 9 games over 500. But the Bucks and 76ers, man, as I expect, this is going to be a finals preview. And the reason the Bucks won this game is because Tyrese Maxey, he didn't show up. He only dropped 7 points in the 40 minutes. He's still a young player. But the Bucks did a great job on him. Especially, probably Drew was guarding him, I'm guessing. Or maybe he was guarding James Harden. So it started Wesley Matthews, the OG Bucks lineup from 2019. Wes started. Grayson Allen came off the bench last night. And Pat Connaughton. Serge Ibaka didn't get that much minutes for some reason. He got 3. Maybe he's getting rest. But I just want to say something about the Bucks. Bobby Portis, man, he did a great job filling in his role. And I want to tell you what he said about not starting no more. He said, sometimes you got to sacrifice. And I'm going to make that sacrifice for this team to be better, for Brook Lopez. And I didn't like the move at first from the Bucks, starting up Brook Lopez over Bobby Portis. I was like, come on, Bobby Portis was playing great basketball. He was hitting threes, playoff Bobby Portis, man. This was playoff Bobby Portis, man. And he was just doing a great job, of just playing the game, doing what he was doing, man. And does a great job, man. And he filled the Bucks role really well. But the Bucks did miss Brook Lopez's 7-foot presence. They missed him. They really did miss him here. And 40, 14, and 6 from Giannis again. That's unbelievable stuff. And a game-winning block. Go watch it on ESPN. Watch it anywhere you want. NBA.com. They got the highlight. If you missed the block by Giannis Antetokounmpo, I recommend you watching it. It was game-saving time basket. Joel Embiid threw it up. He thought it was goaltend. But Giannis, man, with an incredible block. I also want to talk about Giannis Antetokounmpo real quick. The season that he's having, man. He's having a great season. Averaging about more than 28 a game, I believe. I think it's 28, 12, and 5, 6, man. We'll talk about the MVP discussion in a bit. But we got one more game to get to. I'm not going to go over every single game. I'm going over the important games right now. So, let's talk about the Lakers and the Mavericks last night. What happened and what the Lakers are in trouble now. So, we look at this here. Mavericks and the Lakers here. Luka Doncic, triple-double. Led every single category for the Clippers. There was no LeBron James for the Lakers tonight, but look at that three-point percentage last night. 27% from the Los Angeles Lakers. It's unreal. Shooting 27%, But it's good to see Malik Monk and Westbrook doing good for them. One of the 2 notable players that actually did really good for the Lakers, man. And there's been some talk about the Lakers right now. They're currently out of the play-in right now. Westbrook had a great game. 25, 8, and 6. Shot 9 for 17. That's what I say. And Malik Monk, 10 for 16. Those are the only 2 players from the Lakers. And I was talking about Taylor Horton-Tucker, man. 17 minutes, 4 for 11, 12 points. And this is a guy that's supposed to be stepping up for them. He's a young guy. They traded Kuzma away. They traded a lot of big names, Some bigger names. They traded Ingram away. They thought, okay, Taylor Horton-Tucker is our guy off the bench. We're going to get Anthony Davis. We believe in Taylor Horton-Tucker. We believe he's going to be like one of those players. But he just wasn't. He just wasn't like one of those players. I don't know what the Lakers are doing right now, but they do not want to win. The 31-44, like I said yesterday, and with the Mavericks last night, man. Spencer Dinwiddie's been everything they wanted from him off the bench. When Luka's off the court, they need another guy who can handle the ball and shoot and score, and that's Spencer Dinwiddie. He's been doing that. And the Mavericks are 47-29 right now. They're 47-29. It's unreal stuff here. So their NBA scores, so we're done talking about this. So the other NBA scores around the league that we did not cover. The Bulls defeated the Wizards 107 to 70, 107 to 94. And the Pistons lost to the Nets 130-123. Notable scores for that game was KD's 41. Kate Cunningham dropped a nice 34 points last night. So let's get you to the NBA standings right now. We'll get both of them real quick. Here we go. The standings are right here. Look at the Western Conference. The Suns right there, top team in the West. Grizzlies at the 2, man. That's crazy, man. They're 1-5. The 2 hottest teams in the West are just dominating. And currently look at the Lakers. They're 31-44. They lost 3 in a row. They're 3-11. I believe in their last 14. It's unbelievable what they've been doing. And unbelievable stuff we see here, you know? The Lakers 31-44. Look at the Spurs. They took it 1-4 in a row. The Pelicans are right there. So we look at the Clippers. Look at the 8, 9, and 11. I want to talk about that real quick, you know? The Clippers are going to make the playoffs up to there. I think you're safe. But the Pelicans, Spurs, and Lakers, that's going to be the last spot. It's going to be a dogfight. You never know. The Trailblazers, Kings might make a comeback, but that's unlikely to happen. So, like I said yesterday, I believe it's still going to be Grizzlies Suns in the Western Conference Finals. And this is how it stays, you know. And other side, look at the Heat, the Bucks, right there. It's very good in the standings here. These are great standings to have right here. And the NBA is in a great place. When I was talking about the Eastern Conference, look how good that is. My bad, the Nets are 40-36. I did not know they jumped that many games. Look at that. The 10th seed, 38-37. It's very close there. And I really think the Hawks are going to get that. The Knicks, they struggled at one point. You know, they're hot right now. Their Knicks are playing good basketball as of late. But they were once losing. They were once in a losing streak. They were struggling to win basketball games. They went on like a 10-game losing streak, and that's why they're not going to make the playoffs, man. You were struggling at one point in the regular season. But the Knicks, man, they were playing some great ball right now. They could make a run. You never know. The Hawks might stumble. The Hornets might stumble. The Nets are not going to stumble. But you never know. The Hornets or Hawks might have a fallout. And then that makes the Knicks. The Wizards are there. They're not technically out of playoff contention, but they're most likely out of the playoffs. But, yeah, this is going to be very interesting to see what happens, what the matchups are, see what the playing games are. And I'm going to be covering that also here on the channel. Once I start working, I still will do my podcast uploads. It might be later today. I'm just going to let you know that. But that's it for the NBA. We can go to MLB. And I want to be talking about the Milwaukee Brewers right now. Just the Milwaukee Brewers. And, yeah. So the Guardians defeated the Brewers 10-3 last night. Just spring training, but some notable stats right here we can look at. It's look at it here. Good average there. Colton Wong, Christian Willie Adames hit a hit. Christian Yelich 1 for 3 with an RBI, 2 strikeouts. Keston came in later, had a walk and 2 strikeouts. Notable players, Roddy Tellez 0 for 3. You know, they had a good third inning though. Look at the scoring summary and look down there. You know, it's a 10-3 game. Brandon Woodruff kind of struggled. I watched him pitch. He had that came up in the third. That's where he struggled. And the Brewers, this is what the Brewers bullpen is capable of doing at times, you know. Brandon Woodruff. I feel like this is just spring training right now. He's going to be much better. He's not going to be this bad. And if you're a Brewers fan, you know, you're okay. Luis Perrodimo. No, this is a great team. The Milwaukee Brewers, what they have here, and I just can't wait to watch this team go ahead and play some baseball. Today they go, if you're interested, they're on Fox Sports Wisconsin tonight. They go against the Padres today. So they should have an interesting matchup here. And you know, it's a great team, you know. Really great team. And it'll be fun to watch, man. Opening day is April 6th. They got against the Cardinals, I believe. The St. Louis Cardinals are their opening team. If I'm not correct, I'm going to check real quick if they are. But Tyrone Taylor, man. The question is, I also want to talk about this real quick. About something with Lorenzo Cain and Tyrone Taylor, the battle for center field. I think Tyrone Taylor should start over Lorenzo Cain. People are going to call me crazy. Tyrod Taylor's a better hitter at this point in his career. This is not the Lorenzo Kansas City prime Lorenzo Cain, not the first year Lorenzo Cain. This is some prime Lorenzo Cain for the Milwaukee Brewers we have seen. Because look at the stats last year. Tyrod Taylor had 14 home runs, 49 RBIs last year. Lorenzo Cain, man, he kind of struggled last year. It's a 3-10 game, by the way, between the Brewers and the Padres. But Taylor, man, he's going to be a legitimate threat this year for the Brewers. He's hitting 467 in spring. 467 in spring training. I think Lorenzo Cain was kind of struggling in spring training. But Taylor, man, this is a guy that could have a big year. And here's my big take on Tyrod Taylor. If he gets everyday playing time, if he can get some big-time playing time this year for the Milwaukee Brewers, I think he hits 25 home runs and drives in 80 RBIs with a nice 290 batting average, 15 stolen bases. Probably have 100-something hits. Tyrod Taylor is going to be a guy for the Brewers that's going to step up. I feel like he does. If I'm wrong, we're going to go back to this podcast and tell me how wrong I was about this. But look at this interesting stat lines for the pitching. The bullpen was kind of okay. It was kind of okay. It was all right. J.C. Meha. Sorry if I pronounced that name wrong. But he's a great addition for the Milwaukee Brewers. He's going to be a great addition. Jake Cousins. He struggles at times, but I think he's going to have a down year. Luis Perdomo, not sure about him. Not sure about this bullpen. Maybe Josh Hader has a great year again. But many believe he's going to get traded at the deadline. Many people are going to believe that Josh Hader gets traded at the deadline, no? This is just Brewers box score. This is just Brewers baseball on my podcast. In any big trade, I'm not going to talk about every single game. Unless it's a crazy 22-inning game. That's what I can talk about. But this is also for the Brewers. If you're a Brewers fan, this is the podcast for you. We talk about the Brewers. We talk about stats. And Riley Tellez, our first baseman troubles. It's him versus Keston here. It's going to be great, interesting who's going to get that spot postseason. I expect the Milwaukee Brewers to be a postseason team. I really do. And if they're not a postseason team, that's going to be very disappointing to see that this Milwaukee Brewers team is not going to be a postseason team, And there's not 7 better teams, 6 better teams than the Milwaukee Brewers. I can tell you the top 6 teams right now that are going to go to the postseason. Dodgers to the Braves. Those are the 5 teams. Braves and Dodgers. You know what? Let me just do something real quick. I'm gonna show you so you can see what I'm talking about. This is my predictions. My top 6 teams from each team league. I'll tell you. So my predictions here in the MLB right here. This is my predictions. And people are wondering, where are the San Francisco Giants at in the NOS right now? In the NOS, man, you lose Chris Bryant, man. You lose a couple of key pieces for that San Francisco Giants team, They're still going to be a young, talented team, And the Mets not making the playoffs. This will be very interesting. It's a very tough thing to say. It's very tough, The Phillies are there, man. They got one of the best offenses in the National League. Cardinals there. The Brewers, Braves, Dodgers. I think they're going to be the top 3. And you're going to have the Phillies and Cardinals, Phillies, and Padres make the playoffs. Nationals just missing in. Mets, Giants. This is crazy predictions here. Dodgers, they're honestly the favorites. The Braves, what they did this offseason, adding Matt Olson, man. They're one of the favorites as well in this team. They get Ronald Acuna Jr. back too. You lost Freddie Freeman, but you think about it, Atlanta Braves fans. You're getting Ronald Acuna Jr. back. You're getting Matt Olson. And look what you have in your outfield. You also get Marcell Ozuna back, but when people say what he did is wrong, it was wrong what he did. Very wrong, but you can forgive him. People call me crazy. Why should I forgive Marcell Ozuna? Because I'm a Christian here. What he did is terrible. What he was terrible. But as a Christian here, we forgive Marcell Ozuna. You know, he shouldn't have done that. It was terrible. But let's not talk about that. They get let's go back to Eddie Rosario. They get him back. Dude was cracked in the playoffs last year. You see what he did last year. Eddie Rosario. Just watch a highlight reel of him, man, in the playoffs, man. He was just clutch. You know, they lose one piece, Jorge Soler, but they lost him because, you know, they're going to be there. Don't cut the Marlins out. Do not count the Marlins out of this, man. Do not count the Marlins. They got added some players. They got Jorge Soler over there, Javier Garcia. Man, the team, Jazz Chisholm's going to be good. Lewis Brinson has potentially to be good. No, that's the whole team in Miami might be a great team over there. Miami Marlins, man, they might be a good baseball team this year. Miami Marlins, they could be very great. They could be really good. And let's go back to the talking about the National League real quick. The Cardinals Brewers. It's gonna be a race for that division, man. If any other team in the Central wins that division, especially the Reds, Pirates, and Cubs, I don't think the Cubs are. They're gonna be there. They're gonna be competing for a while, but I don't think the Cubs are a playoff team. I don't think so. Like I said yesterday. But these are my predictions here for the standings here this year. Pretty wild what we have here. Really good standings here, and very, like I said before, the Mets, man. For some reason, the offense just never gets it done. The pitching has always been consistently good for the Mets, but the offense just never gets it done. And the last time they went to the World Series, I believe they won against the Royals, if I'm corrected. I think it's the Giants Royals. No, I think they lost. They were supposed to go to the World Series. I think the Cubs beat them. I believe that was what it was. But some crazy standing predictions here. Astros also gonna be good. You know what? There's a lot of teams that I'm not sure about. The Tigers could be interesting this year. Detroit Tigers could be a very interesting team. They got added Javier Baez. The Twins added Carlos Correa, but that's gonna be tough. If the Rangers pitching can do good, because the Twins lost Jose Barrios last year. That's gonna be a race for that 6, 7, 8. The Red Sox right there too. So it's very, very interesting standings. The Padres, man, they're gonna lose Fernando Tatis for the first month or two, I believe. He's hurt. But the Padres, man, if they don't make the playoffs again, man, they were a 50-something. They're 55-38 a year ago. They had 17 games over 500 last year, and it just collapsed. They just collapsed. But it's gonna be very good for these Dodgers and Braves, man. Brewers, Cards, Phillies, Padres. You know, it's gonna be something really good. Okay, there's really nothing else to talk about. Nothing really happened in the sports today. This is just a 25-minute podcast today on sports. Tomorrow we're gonna go over to the debate. Who deserves to win MVP tomorrow for the NBA? And yeah. So thank everybody for watching this today. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And let's get to the let's have a good Tuesday and peace.